How do you guys look at personalization, and how do you optimize that, to be impactful? And is that something you guys are focusing more and more on?
We are. I would say we're not there yet. So you go back to the menu, yeah, and it does come from people. So the fun part of our menu, for those who haven't ever tried it, so there's this dozen flavors of chicken salad. This brilliance that was in Stacy's mind when she created this menu was every chicken salad has a personality, and it's a namesake. So when we talk about Fancy Nancy, it's actually named after her Aunt Nancy, who was the most stylish one in her family. And she created all these flavors and named them after people who helped her along the way, and ultimately to honor them. So they will always be remembered in some way on the menu. And that's something that we've continued as we move forward, even with new development of names. They may not be members of that immediate family members, but as we develop new names, we actually have a Patty Thai-rific, a Thai flavor that we named after our head of training, who has been with the brand for almost 10 years and really has been key to our brand getting it going, and helping all these people along the way. We have one this summer that is going to be Pam's Parmesan Caesar, which is named after a wonderful general manager we had in the Atlanta market, who was the best of our brand, who passed away from cancer a year ago. And so to honor her as she moves forward. So again, the personalization is in the flavors. So we want to have that connection. So again, small things that we've done to upgrade the app this year as we moved on the new platform, they're starting to recognize you personally. So even when you load onto your app, it says, hello, Tom. So you know that they're there. If this, now that the technology can pull, if they show the app at POS, the team member can say, hi, Tom, great to see you again. So those are the first stages, but behind that, we haven't started yet to access this because we're kind of only just a couple months in on the new platform, but to create more of that personalization so that offers are going to be able to be directed to me or to that guest based on a certain behavior or a certain flavor they like the most. That kind of thing is coming along the way on the app, and I think that'll be important to kind of create that further engagement with us and greater loyalty over time.
I think personalization is the most significant thing for us, to ultimately grow our business. I'd say for us, there's 3 or 4 areas. Our business model, we operate it. You mentioned at the outset of the show, we operate as a direct-to-consumer lead gen business. So the front end, we spend a ton of money on getting people filling out lead forms and responding to ads. And we sell free consultations, meaning that first interaction. And so there's tremendous level of personalization about what your personal journey is. People are sharing intimate details of their life. They're sharing, things that bother them about themselves. And so we have to do a great job of drawing that out of people, keeping it confidential, and making it easy to pick up, when the next conversation takes place. We're also digitizing it in a way. We're spending a lot of time right now on digitizing that process to make it, a lot easier to have those conversations, along the way. In our clinics, our med pros are giving out the treatments. And so at that point of care, creating what we call a wish list and keeping track of it and having conversations about what's next on the journey is a big part of what we're doing. And then I'm really looking forward to AI here. I mean, we're really looking at how can you really take personalization to the proverbial next level, and we think there's a lot of opportunity in AI, around all of it for us that can really supercharge the benefits of it.
Personalization is a word that's used a lot, and for us it's just really a way for us to think about how do we present the most effective message to the consumer that we've targeted at the relevant time. And I feel as though we're already there on personalization. But we're moving from personalization to really individual engagement. And that's the next leap for us, and that becomes much more complex when you're trying to hit Mark as opposed to trying to hit, a male of your age in the community you live in that drives a luxury vehicle. And so we're excited by all that, and marketing communications is a science. And with my background in economics and so forth, I mean, it's truly amazing the power of the data as you become capable to leverage more and more of it to be even more engaging.
Well, really, the My Mike's program has been the real push for personalization because first of all, we only do personalization when someone opts in for something. So there are ways to find data out about people and personalize digital ads on the internet, but some things get to be a little creepy, and we don't do any of that type of thing. We ask people to opt into our programs, opt in if they want a text message, opt in if they want an email, opt in if they want notifications. Which way would you rather be communicated with? And by the way, what's your name? And if you want to share your birthday, we'll send you a free sub on your birthday as well. And so we develop, a relationship with our customers, through digital means, but all permission based, and a lot of it is request based. Like, no, I don't want emails anymore. My inbox is just loaded. Can you just notify me on the app? That's the way I'd like to be communicated with. So we're trying to reach out to customers to, again, communicate with them the way they would like to be communicated with.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail mark there. Personalization is only impactful when it's done at scale, and that's where the real challenge is doing it at scale. I'll tell you how we have achieved it. I'm very proud to say that 90% of Michael's emails or more have some element of personalization. Either the subject line is personalized, either the time they get the email is personalized, the product offers they see in the email, or the recommendations about products we put in that email are all personalized.
I think for us, now that we've expanded kind of across the country, I would say, is making sure that if a guest goes to one of our other brands in a different location, that personalization doesn't get lost. So I feel incredibly special when I come to my home property in Connecticut. If I go to resorts in Atlantic City, I want to know that I like to have goose on the rocks with a llama. So just simple things like that to make them feel like they are known across our brand.
Personalization is huge in marketing, and frankly, one of the reasons I wanted to do a loyalty program to begin with, so we would have data to create that level of personalization, because we're not able to do that right now. Since we just launched, that's not something that we're doing today, because right now we're just focused on getting acquisition and learning more about these customers. But future state is definitely knowing who a guest is and delivering them personal offers. So if I know a guest is only ever coming and ordering our kale salad, I might not push an offer to them for our chicken and waffles, because that's probably not going to be of interest to them. But if I have a great deal in our kale salad, that's something I want to give to that person, because that is likely going to be something interesting to them that is going to make them come for that one extra purchase.
I really look at it in two ways, Mark, which is, I think, fascinating within the grocery world. You can look at personalization in terms of offer personalization and in terms of content personalization. So where grocery, I think, is absolutely fantastic is on the offer side of personalization. By nature of that loyalty relationship, there's such an ocean of analytics, that really support, how, when, where you shop, the number of categories shopped, the recency of it, how that changes whether you go online or brick and mortar, and our ability to come back and look at that and be able to say, what we think Mark needs right now is an offer around this product. It blows my mind just with, how deep the analytic firepower is behind understanding and predicting spend moving forward and the type of offers that should go with it. Where I think every grocery struggle may be a tough word, but I really think maybe it's more the opportunity is content personalization. And here's what I mean by that. If you, myself, Tim, Mel, anyone watching this podcast went to Giant Food, you're going to get the same experience. If you went to our app, you're going to see the same experience. And for the majority of grocery competitors, that's an issue that they have, is that while we can serve up offers to you that really reflect your spend behavior, based upon how you engage with us, Mark, you may be, a vegan shopper, you're gluten-free, or, we know you have kids, or, or maybe not. But the fact is, being able to serve content that educates you, that gives you guidance on recipes, but really feels more like your personalized hub is where the challenge is of capturing that type of preference information and turning that into content that really helps reward, educates you, and makes Giant more of a trusted advisor for how you shop rather than just a merchant. So personalization, it's a buzzword, it's a big word. But again, we try to separate it from an offer point of view. We feel that we can predict what we should give you, but it's really more of that relationship and trying to counsel for recipes, for nutrition, that we see as the opportunity to really give you more of your story in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's also just making sure that you're making your shoppers feel valued and special, and like you understand what they need and what they want. And again, you're not only delivering that via the offers, but you're delivering that through, the communication strategy, not even just the content. It's the channel of choice and, what is the best way to contact them and communicate with them.